Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to fourth quarter. What's up? We are back again. Hope everybody enjoyed the holiday, enjoyed the Thanksgiving. It was awesome. Craig, what you do? Thanksgiving, man. You enjoyed it?
I went to my aunt's house, and after that, went shopping the next day. But
Oh, that's nice. Where you shop at? Anab? Well, no, you down the. Where's your aunt? Did your aunt live in Easton?
nah, she lives on the Eastern Shore though, but she lives
Okay.
Dover, Delaware,
Oh, yeah, that's right there.
only like
That's
30
right
minutes
there.
away. So went
It's a
out there.
mall there.
Yeah, they got a mall. I mean, they got Walmart,
You
Target, all
got the
that.
outlets? Is that where
They got
outlets are
outlets.
too?
I went to the outlets, but the outlets are in Maryland. They got outlets in Delaware, down by the beach, but I didn't go that far. I just went
Okay.
to Maryland. Because the outlet's about 2 minutes away too, just the opposite direction. So
Okay.
it was cool.
Cool, man. I just was inside. Cooked the turkey. I cooked some lamb. Pretty good. I miss grilling. But besides that, it was nice, man. We had this. I don't know if y'all know, man, but nothing bundt cakes is really good. Uh, we had some of those, really good, man. Mo, Thanksgiving was it good? It was good, Craig. I'm telling you nothing.
Absolutely, man. Went with my lady, man, over her cousin's house, man. Good food. Watched the games.
Nice.
Watched the Green Bay upset over Detroit. And I watched the first little part of our game, Washington versus Dallas. They got home and watched the rest of that butt kicking, but definitely bad. But it led to some firings, but we understand what that is. It's a business, but also I know some deals was made. And people kept their word, so we can understand how that was. Some people kept their word. Like, think about it. I know people kept their word, and so if you keep your word, then that means you had to fire some people in order for me to keep my word. But that is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Mo. Speaking of, we were just talking about the college football, man. What are your top 4 college football rankings?
All right. So my top 4 was Georgia, Michigan, Washington, Florida State. It holds serve. It did hold serve. To be the same as what I guessed. It did have Georgia number 1. I just watched the college football ranking just come out. Georgia was number 1. Michigan was number 2. Washington was number 3, and Florida State was number 4, with Oregon number 5. Now, the shocker to me was Ohio State to be number 6 over Texas. That was a shot. I think with the committee to do that, it kind of said that they felt like, despite the loss, Ohio State just on the field is better than Texas. So for Ohio State to still be ranked over Texas after that loss.
I think Texas might get them.
Now I agree, but in the committee eyes, for them to do that, they feel like Texas. They feel like if Ohio State and Texas played on the field right now, neutral field, they feel like Ohio State would beat Texas. Because there's no way one loss, and you telling me, because to be honest with you, let me say this right now. I feel like Alabama will beat Michigan on a neutral field right now. That's just me.
Okay.
But
all right.
But the top 4 matched up with what I had. Right now, I would say this: if Florida State wins, they need to get in. I don't care about the quarterback. I don't care about him being hurt. Prayer sent to him. But
who do they play?
They play Louisville. But it looks bad. It doesn't look as good because Louisville just lost. They was in top 10 and lost to Kentucky. So it doesn't look as good as it should have looked. Or it was good. It was going to look. Basically, the winner of Oregon Washington gets in. You talking about Washington number 3, Oregon number 5. Whoever wins get in.
Yep. That's true. Michigan's already in, I'm assuming, right?
I mean, yeah, they got to play Iowa to get 2 championship games, but that's Georgia. The interesting thing is if Alabama beat Georgia, what happens now?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting because now if the
Oh
committee,
wow,
yeah, because now that's going to be the interesting thing. If Alabama beats Georgia,
if Alabama beats Georgia, it's gonna be
it's going to throw everybody off. Yeah,
Michigan to be number one.
Yeah, Michigan will move to number one if they win.
Or
then,
if Washington win, they might go number one.
it depends on
They
how
beat
they
Oregon.
Let me say this. I would say this. Let me say this right now. If Washington beats Oregon twice, especially how Oregon's been playing, and if Michigan loses, I think Washington should be number one. That's just my opinion.
What if Washington and Michigan both went out?
I get it, but what I'm saying is, if Washington was
I'm asking you. What would you?
No, I'm saying if that happens, though, I think Washington should be number one and Michigan be number two, because that means you'll be the Oregon team that the committee has had in the top 5 twice.
Yeah,
that's a big. Like the committee's had Washington Oregon in the top 5 all season. It's been 4 or 5 rankings, and they've had Oregon consistently number 5. So for Washington beat them twice. Like Michigan's only beat Ohio State once, and it's like anybody else, there's nobody else in that top tier. So I think that should put Washington in number 1. I think we'll push Michigan number 2, and now it'll be like, what do you do with everything else?
Right. What do you do with 3 and 4 if Alabama beats Georgia?
Let me say this.
Because what's Alabama right now? Like 8th or something?
Yeah, Alabama's 8th. They put them behind Texas still.
I don't know if they can win. Can they move all the way up?
I mean, some dominoes have to fall. But let me say this. If Florida State wins and you just put them in number 4 a week before the final rankings, if they win and win a championship, they got to get in. I understand your fear is they get in, they get to they get there and they get their tail whipped. Like they get there and they face Georgia or Michigan and lose and get their head hit. It's like we waste our money. I get it. But if they win, that's 13-0, undefeated ACC champ. How do you not let them in? Like it would just be bad. You basically be saying it's because of the quarterback. So one player don't let them get in?
Nah, I think if Florida State wins, I think if Florida State, Michigan, Washington, those are guaranteed in.
Right. Now you got the ACC.
Interesting it would be very interesting if Georgia loses to Alabama. That'll be crazy. It'll be interesting. I would like to see it. I'm probably watching college football this weekend. Anyway, to some other big NFL news. Frank Reich has been fired from the Carolina Panthers after a 1-10 start because we have a Carolinian. So he said Carolina fan. He loved the Tar Heels. He loved the Panthers, the Hurricanes, the hockey team. Yeah. So he's the big Carolina fan. He knows it in and out. Craig, do you agree with the firing of Frank Reich?
Yeah, I do. I just thought that he wasn't. I guess the team didn't progress in the direction that I thought they were going to progress in. I mean,
yeah.
You look at the team, how they finished last season. They were 7-10, a game back of the NFC South, and going to the playoffs. And then this year, this year the division is pretty much in the same state. It's just as bad, or if not worse, than last year. I mean, every team was under 500. They're even at 1-10. I mean, they're what 4 games back of. So if they could win some of these games, this would not even be a conversation. Like if they were 5-6 as well, then this wouldn't be a conversation. I wouldn't have an issue with him being fired. But the whole how the team ended last year, the expectations. I guess for at least for having the number 1 overall pick, you go out and you trade the number 1, or you go out and trade for the number 1 overall pick, and then how CJ Stroud is playing with just as much talent. I guess he has a better O-line, but he has just as much talent. I mean, maybe a little bit more. He has younger guys there, but I mean, why is that team doing so much better than the Panthers are? And they had so much of a worse team. The defense was bad. Like, it's just it just makes you wonder, did they make the wrong choice? I mean, it's still time to figure it out. Maybe next year or something like that. Bryce Young takes a big giant step forward. Kind of seeing the same thing with it kind of reminds me of Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars and how bad they were and how bad he was this year. And then they fired a head coach, not mid-season, but kind of like around the same time frame. They go out and they get a new head, or they get a head coach that knows. I'm not saying Frank Reich doesn't know his stuff, because I definitely think he does, but it just wasn't working. I think Frank Reich was dealt a bad hand as well, because the team around him, especially that O-line, is still bad, if not worse. But I mean, you look what Trevor Lawrence has done, or what he did in the second season, led the team to the playoffs and got a playoff win. So I'm not saying that the Panthers are going to do that, but I mean the NFC South is very, very, very winnable. I guess
it's wide open.
It's just wide open. So, like I said, I wasn't surprised that he got fired. I figured, I mean, he was going to get fired eventually, because I mean, you can't be 1-10 in the NFL, and then the offense just looks horrible. He's an offensive guy, but the offense, they haven't scored more than like 17 points. I had it in the last 4 weeks. They haven't scored 20 points since they got blown out by the Dolphins, and they were up 14-0 on them, and they ended up with 20. So, I mean, for how offensive savvy Frank Reich is, the team just wasn't responding to him. I like I said, he was dealt a bad hand as well because of the talent, but I just think something had to be done. I wouldn't have been mad if they had waited till the end of the season and then just let it go. But you know, they also let go Deuce Staley and Josh McCown. So, but also David Tepper, he just doesn't. I mean, he's just horrible. He's just a horrible owner. I just don't. I mean, he's a terrible owner. The team is 24-61 since he's taken over. I mean, it's just unacceptable what's going on there. I mean, they haven't had a coach at all since he's taken over. I thought Steve Wilkes probably should have been given an opportunity last year. He led the team they were 6-6. Now he's a defensive guy, so I was more leaning towards an offensive guy, especially since they were going to pick a quarterback. But I mean, you can't argue with what's going on in Houston with Ryans, the way he's coaching. He's a defensive guy. So, I mean, and he finished the team with 6-6. Now he's coaching the 49ers defense, which, I mean, the 49ers defense was already good before he got there. So, but at the same time, I think he's still a pretty solid coach. I don't know what type of job
you want. That's who you wanted, right?
I mean, I really wanted an offensive-minded coach, but I mean, the team, they really liked Steve Wilkes, and a lot of them really wanted him to come back. But Tepper knows better than everybody, I guess. So he went out and got Frank Reich, which I didn't like to hire in the beginning because I thought I wanted them to go younger. Maybe
that's right. I remember you said that.
Ben Johnson turned everybody down. I wanted, Ben Johnson was that type of guy, like that young talent. Yeah. So, and
like a Kevin O'Connell, like a Zach, I got you.
Yeah. But I really don't know who would want to take this job, because you don't have a first round pick. Tepper's just firing coaches left and right. He can't keep a coach.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
6 since he's taken over in 2018. 6 coaches in 5 years.
That's crazy. I looked at that and was like, I couldn't believe it. Somebody said that he is more. Somebody says much head coaches he has interims. I was like, that's wild.
Yeah, he has 3 and 3. It's 3 interims. He's the third interim coach. So I mean,
that's crazy.
He needs to just do what the 49ers did a few years ago when they had 3 coaches in 3 years, and then they were just the owner just was like, yo, we're just gonna Shanahan and the cornerback for the Bucks.
John Lynch. Yeah,
John Lynch. You go ahead.
He took a step back. He took
right.
He took
you guys just run the team. I'm gonna take a step back, and you guys figure it out. And now look at the 49ers. That's what he needs to do. He just needs to get a clean house, I guess. If you're going to do that, just get rid of the GM because the GM sucks too.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, he's terrible. He's garbage. Just get rid of him too. I mean, he's only been there. This is only his second year, but he needs to go as well. And just go ahead and start over because this team is going nowhere. It's a dumpster fire, and it starts at the top.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Wow,
it's embarrassing.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I started reading articles and hearing rumors, and I was like, I think it could happen. You know, I would ask you, you'd be like, yeah, I've been hearing, grumblings, and I was like, me personally, I would have waited a year, did a year evaluation, but he just fired him in the middle of the season. I know Bo likes that. I don't. I like a coach to finish out the season, and then I'll reevaluate and fire. Bo likes to fire mid-season. This is how it goes. I don't. I want the head coaches to finish the season. I understand why they did it, but this is getting ridiculous, though. You have 3 head coaches and 3 interims. That's. I read that, and it's crazy. Then, I don't agree with it, man. I understand why they had to, but I think he could have waited the year out. It's what, week 13? Yeah. It's the end of the season. You got 5 more weeks. Wait it out. You already been there for anyway. That's crazy. Mo, what do you think about? Because I gotta ask you something after this too, Craig. Mo, what do you think about the firing for Frank Reich?
So, we've heard this before with owners, but especially this late in the season. I heard a rumor that he went into a locker room and they had a discussion and he went out there cursing.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Stuff like that. So that's not a good sign. But crazy. At the same token, it's like you gotta look at this roster, and I think Craig, you could attest to this or disagree. You can look at this roster and be like, what did you expect? Like, what did you really expect? I mean, you could say more or whatever, more or less, but what did you really expect? Like, the quarterback's getting hit left or right. I understand it's not what you expect, but your best receiver is Phelan, who's 37 years old, 30-something years old. Like, come on. Like, you really didn't put this dude in a position to win. And so now you about to have a new head coach, new coordinator again. It almost looks like the same as how Justin Herbert been done. I mean, I'm talking about, and I'm not saying the same. I'm not saying that same production. I'm talking about as far as coaching. Look at how Herbert been done.
Oh yeah, okay. I see.
Herbert been given the same hand that almost that's about to be done in Carolina. Like different coordinators, back-to-back years, you might have different coordinators, different head coaches. It's just bad. But I mean, if you want to win, I get it. But with the talent that's there, I would have thought they would give him the season. But I don't necessarily say all the way it was wrong, but I get what was done. But with the talent that's there, I would have gave him the season because it's not like the talent there is dictating how bad it's been. To my eyes. I mean, I feel like you still want a couple more games, but I feel like especially from an O-line standpoint, is like what you want to do. So I get it. Looking forward. I mean, I heard a conversation. I was looking online and I was reading, looking at on TV. They were saying it almost might have to be a Texans type standpoint. Yeah, you might hire a defensive dude, but look at the Texans. They hired a defensive coach, but also D'Amico Ryans brought in a dude from San Francisco staff that he knew could work with quarterbacks. Like the dude that's running that offense is from San Francisco, so he knew dude coach. So if you're gonna hire a defensive dude, it might be the same situation. But if you hire an offensive person, it needs to be a can't miss fire. I mean, a can't miss hire of an offensive dude that can work with him.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be hard. I mean, listen, everybody's gonna want that opportunity. He's gonna have to pay a lot of money. But that's rough. Craig, let me ask you this. I know you probably know a better answer than I do because I'm hearing things weird. I'm hearing the owner wanted CJ Stroud, or did the owner want Bryce Young? Because I'm hearing he wanted Stroud, but I thought he wanted Bryce Young. I'm not mistaken.
The owner, from what I've been hearing, wanted Bryce Young. I think there was a difference. According to him, he said he wanted Bryce Young, and everything at the end of the day falls with him. So he got the guy that he wanted. Which I mean, I wasn't mad at it. I wanted Bryce Young too. So I mean, it is what it is. But it just sucks to see CJ Stroud balling out, and now everybody's saying, because before the draft, everybody was saying Bryce Young is in the best situation for a quarter, at least from what I've been hearing. I even thought he was in the best situation as being a quarterback.
He was the offensive guy. Yep.
Got the offensive guy. He got all these guys. He brought in Josh McCown, whatever his name is, from Houston.
They fired him too.
Yep. They brought in Deuce Staley, the running back coach. They brought in Miles Sanders from Philly. He had 1,000-yard season, best season last year. Yep. Adam Thielen as a veteran wide receiver. They drafted Mingo. They had Terrence Marshall there. All these young guys. They went out and got DJ Chark from Jacksonville. They had
I thought it was gonna be decent.
Tight end from Cincinnati. They brought him in. Hayden Hurst. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it's not going to be like
your defense is good.
Whatever year that was, when they had Randy Moss, 2006 to whatever it is, 2008. I can't remember the year, but I figured it's going to be a solid offense, and they're going to be. I had them right around between 6 and 7 wins. I mean, I didn't think they're going to win the division. I think they're going to go to the playoffs, but I figured they can get the same amount of wins that they had last year, and just
that's what I thought.
Quarterback. Yep. Excuse me. Had that quarterback just grow in that offense, and then that system. But I mean, it didn't turn out that way. But I do think that the owner said he wanted Bryce Young.
That's what I thought. I know I'm not tripping.
He's the end all be all. Now I don't know who Frank Reich wanted at the end of the day. Maybe Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud. But he was overruled by the owner. Yeah. But this owner is a terrible owner. Like, he's one of the worst owners in sports at this point, the way it's going. I would just hope that
I've been there, man.
I don't know why they just didn't bring up Evero, or however you say his last name, the D coordinator.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
In terms of total yardage, the team is 6th. I mean,
their defense is good.
With this terrible offense, you're basically they're giving up a lot of points, but in terms of passing yards, they're 5th. In terms of total yards, they're 6th.
Yeah, they got a good defense.
Had Mr. Run for years, but I mean, how bad this offense is playing, the defense is the only thing going for him.
Yeah,
I don't know why he just didn't bring him or tell him he's going to be the new interim head coach for the next 5-6 games, and let that be it. Like, he's doing
did he announce one yet?
He's doing a phenomenal job, huh?
Did he announce?
Yeah, he announced a special teams coach or a special teams.
What?
Like, I'm just doing at this point. I really wish they could just fire the owner. It can't be done, but somebody needs to throw some dirt on this dude, because they need to get him out of there like Dan Snyder.
What is going on? He picked for special teams coach
with those sexual allegations and all that. Like, yeah, you had to get rid of him, had to get him out of there, or whatever the case may be. But my God, this dude sucks as an owner. I thought Matt was a bad coach, which he was, but
this is wild.
David Tepper hire.
Chris Tabor?
I didn't like that hire. I didn't like the Frank Reich hire like that. I didn't really. I mean, I figured, okay, maybe, but I wasn't
Chris Tabor.
I don't even know who wants to come to this team. Only reason why you would want to come to this team is because you know you're going to get paid. Matt Rule's still getting paid.
Why didn't he have
Reich
Evero?
Getting paid.
I mean, that's what a lot of people were saying that. They was like, this job.
It's not
because you don't have no first round pick. You don't have no first round pick. You don't have no offensive line. It's not like people will jump out there to come to Carolina and sign.
And you have to be sold on Bryce Young.
Yeah, you got to be sold on.
To be.
If you don't want to be with Bryce Young, you have to be sold on at least for another year or two.
Another year, yeah.
At least another year.
Because I don't know about Bryce Young. I don't know.
Good, but
right, you don't have a first round pick, so it's not like you can get a quarterback this year. So you got to at least go on for one more year.
And the Chicago Bears GM looks like a genius.
So let me.
Chicago Bears GM looks like a genius.
I don't know, man.
So let me say this.
They might get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr., brother.
They could, yeah, they could. But let me say this though. I think he's in this position. He's in position right now, and Craig, you can tell me if I'm tripping. I think Bryce Young in the position how Mr. Trubisky was done.
What you mean?
How you drafted in the top 10 and you brought into a situation it was like, how do you succeed?
I mean, pretty much. It looks that way. I mean,
how do you succeed? Like, Mr. Trubisky was drafted top 10, and it's like, okay, everybody was like, wow, okay, cool. But how was you brought into a situation where you could succeed? Like, what was it there that you could be like, oh, Mr. Trubisky was going to succeed?
Well, here's the thing that I think Carolina has. I think if he fires a GM and hires the right offensive young mind coach that wants to take the job, somebody's going to take the job.
Oh, yeah, of course. For money. Yeah,
somebody's going to take the job.
Oh, somebody's going to take the job because it's 1 of 32.
The job. It's 1 of 32. That's
so you have to take the job. It's just not. It's probably the least.
It's not appealing
job in the NFL at this point, and it's behind. Yeah. It's behind everybody that's going to have a free agent or have a open head coach vacancy.
And you know the owner meddles too. The owner meddles, so that's another thing you have to worry about.
It's got to be the least attractive job in the NFL. It has to be.
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
And it's embarrassing because the division is wide open. It's a terrible division.
It's wide open.
Why you can't compete? They're only 4 games back.
Yes,
they have 1 win.
Hold on. I think it might be the only. It might be if I'm not tripping. I think it's the only division.
The division's horrible.
It's the only division right now where the division leader is only 500. It might be.
Yeah, they're gonna have back to back.
They're gonna be back to back this year.
Yeah,
it seems like it anyway. At this rate, I mean,
it's probably gonna be back to back.
Oh, it's looking because I mean,
it's looking like it's gonna be back to back.
There's gonna be a placeholder because think about it right now. How it looks right now, whoever wins that division is gonna play Dallas first round.
They're gonna be 7-9. Whoever wins that division gonna be 7-9.
They gonna get their tail whipped. They gonna get a whole playoff game just for TV ratings.
That's what they did last year with Tampa Bay. I mean, yeah, with Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Except they had Tom Brady.
They're gonna play Tampa Bay, the Saints, or Atlanta. Dallas is going to punish them.
Right, going to destroy them. Come on, man.
They're gonna, Mo, let me ask you this.
And it's gonna be a road game for
Dallas. Yeah. No, we don't. We'll get it. Mo, which other NFL coaches you think will lose their jobs?
All right, so
we already know 2 easy ones.
I mean, all right. We gotta say him. I'm gonna ask you a question. We know Rivera. Rivera's gonna finish.
Everybody knows Rivera is
He's gonna be gone. That was pretty much they forced his hand. What I think happened. This is me. I think Josh Harris and all of them gave him the agreement that he could finish. He'll get a whole season, but it looked so bad he had to fire. He had to do something. So they was like they're real because the enemy's only in his first year. They're real been here 4 years. So
and the drop off from top 5 defense to bottom 5 is huge.
And then I mean, I get what people say with the DB thing, but I'm cool with it because our DBs look lost every week, and we're not. It ain't like you sitting here playing a bunch of rookies and you benched the rookie and you still look lost. You got dudes that have been in the league at least 3+ years, and we look lost in coverage every week. So I'm gonna say Rivera.
Yeah, easy.
Staley. We know Staley. They might let him finish the season.
I think at this point,
I'm gonna say
everybody
Belichick
probably
on the
is.
mutual. I'm gonna say Belichick on the mutual.
Okay.
It might be mutual.
I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, it might straight up fire, but you know how that is. They'll fire him, but they gonna respectfully word it to where it's mutual.
Maybe, yeah, you might be
word
right.
it where it's mutual out of respect.
If they get a top 3 pick, I don't know. They draft Drake May, they might keep Belichick. That's just me. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Rivera only because not Rivera. I'm gonna say Dallas.
Mike McCarthy.
If he don't make the AFC Championship game, if he lose again in the divisional, think about it.
Your team goes back-to-back years. They would have won 12-5 for 3 years in a row, man.
I get it, but we're talking about Dallas. I get what you're saying. I fully agree with you. I'm not arguing your point. But what I'm saying is we're talking about Dallas. If he goes to the divisional again and lose, I don't think how long Jerry Jones
hire Mike McCarthy.
I do too. But what I'm saying is
he wins everywhere he goes.
I don't think he keeps letting us get the divisional and you keep losing. I get it, but it's Dallas. If it was a regular franchise, we'd be like, cool. But if you're Dallas, how many times you will keep getting divisional and lose?
They kept Jason Garrett for like 15 years.
I get that.
He's not firing McCarthy. You know?
I get it. All right, so let's put an asterisk next to it. I think that. I think if he gets to the divisional and lose again, I wouldn't be surprised if he get fired. I wouldn't be surprised. If he stays, I'm cool with it, but I would not be surprised. It wouldn't be like I was going to be
12-5 again.
Wow. I get it, but how many times you gonna keep doing that? It's like Tony Dungy.
I would love to be 12-5 every year, Mo. I would love to be 12-5 in the division.
I would love to too, but eventually, and I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. I think Sean McDermott might be fired. It's almost a Tony Dungy thing. Like now, it just feel like you losing your locker room. And I'm gonna say Diggs thing. I'm gonna say the Diggs situation might put it over the hump. I think they might hire an offensive coach who's gonna come in there and sit down with Diggs and Josh Allen. Like, how can we fix it?
Yeah, he's gonna open it up.
I truly believe if they might fire McDermott and bring an offensive coach in there who could sit down and fix the situation.
Yeah, Craig, do you agree with? I know. So I guess, do you agree with the coaches that are going to get fired? Do you have any?
I got some more. Well, I forgot to do this because I was a little irritated, but I forgot to say happy birthday to my mom. Today's her birthday.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday to your mom, man. Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday to your mom, man. That's what's up.
I got obviously Ron Rivera definitely. Yeah. After the expired DC, I don't see how he comes back unless he just goes on a major tear. What are they, 4-8? If he wins the next 5 games and they go 9-8, make the playoffs, I think he comes back. But I don't see that. I got Brandon Staley, definitely.
Yeah.
Chargers are. I mean, they should have got rid of him, but he's still there.
Should have hired Dayball. And that's neither here nor there, man. We don't know nothing.
I got Bill Belichick. I don't think he gets fired. Well, I guess they kind of mutually part ways or however they want to word it. But I agree with that. Back next year, just because I mean, as great as that defense is, the offense is just not. It just hasn't been good. So Mac Jones is definitely. He's been getting benched and he's been getting. He'll start and bench. Gets like, come on, man. I don't know what's going on there. The Bears. I got Matt Eberflus. How do you say his name?
Ooh,
I think he might come back.
That's a good one.
Give him a little chance to draft his quarterback that he wants. Especially
get Caleb.
Right. So I think if he gets an opportunity to finish out the season, and they finish decently strong, and they still get the number 1 overall pick, then I think he might be able to come back and save his job. But I think he's really on the hot seat because the Bears haven't been good. Even though the whole Justin Fields thing is not his fault, but I mean, I also got a couple more. I got Mike Vrabel. I don't think he's going to be back with Tennessee.
Ooh, Oh, okay.
I think that
I would love to bring him. I would love to bring him to the Commanders if they did that.
I think he could end up in maybe
New England,
possibly, unless he'll have his
he'll have his if Vrabel gets fired, it'll be up to him if he wants to coach. Because he'll be able to pick his job. He'll be able to pick his job.
I think Todd Bowles could be on the out as well, just because that division is so winnable. Pretty much every coach at NFC South.
Right.
NFC South coaches, all three of them.
Yep.
I think they could be on the hot seat.
I agree.
Especially Dennis Allen, because Dennis Allen, I thought this team was going to win that division.
Right, and then they brought Derek Carr in. Yeah,
they brought in Derek Carr, and it's just, I mean, they're 5-6.
Is Derek Carr even that good? We gonna see. He got one more year because he don't have. So it'll be if Derek Carr doesn't go to the playoffs this year, it'll be the coach, like it was last time with the coach. But I don't know.
Just too much time.
Might be fool's gold. He might not be a good quarterback. He might be a backup in a couple of years.
I mean, I don't even know who the best quarterback is in that division, as you really think about it. I guess by default it'll be Derek Carr.
Baker.
Baker's right there too. It's just
Baker's right there.
It's trash. Worst division in football, worst quarterbacks from a divisional standpoint in football, like worst coaches in football. It's all in the NFC South.
You might be right.
Listen, I hate to say it, but hold on.
You might be right.
Listen, Atlanta's in first place right now, and they probably got the third best quarterback.
Desmond Ritter sucks.
Hold on. I will come out and say this. Desmond Ritter is the third best quarterback in that division. They in first place.
Yeah.
And they in first place.
That's bad, man.
Like, how many people can say
Smith is a good coach?
Like, how many people can say they're the third best quarterback in their division and they in first place?
I don't think none.
None can say they got third best quarterback in their division and they in first place.
Because Miami got the second best.
No, it's none of them. I mean, it's a horrible division, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Division. Like every week, it's like the Saints will lose, the Buccaneers will lose, and the Falcons will win. And then one week, the Saints will win, the Bucs will lose, the Falcons will lose. Then one week, the Bucs will win. The Saints will. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy.
It's gonna be a great atmosphere if Atlanta wins it. It's gonna be a great atmosphere to host a home playoff game. But that's gonna be the brakes off them. It's gonna be a great atmosphere.
Brakes off whoever.
They need to change that.
So funny? You might be right, Craig, because Adam Schefter says 7 to 10 head coaches could be fired.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. And I've been hearing this. This is very funny. What if Atlanta traded for Justin Fields?
I mean, that's fine.
He's a better quarterback than Ritter. The division sucks.
Let me say that. If they did that this offseason,
because they're not going to have a high enough draft pick.
Right.
They could.
It put them top 10 in that division. I tell them that. If they did that this offseason.
They might win the division.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. Because everybody wins. Justin Fields gets another shot.
I mean, but
I think he's way better than Ritter. I think he's way better.
I mean, what pick would you give up for Fields?
A second or a third? Second or a third? Even a fourth. I would make a call. Because they're getting Caleb Williams. They're not going to pass on Caleb Williams, guys.
You can't. I mean, not when you got 2 top 5 picks. You can't do it.
They're not going to trade out. They're not. This is the.
Do you think they put a Texans, but from an offensive standpoint, a double offense? Do you think they go Caleb and trade up and get Marvin Harrison Jr.?
They could. That'll be tough. I mean, the Cardinals are there. I feel like he doesn't go drop past the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals trade Kyler Murray.
Oh, so if they had 2, you think they go Marvin Harrison Jr. and try to create magic?
I would.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
He'll step in and be a true number 1, and you still got Hollywood Brown. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Kyler. Yeah, that's. I mean, or you could draft the QB and trade Kyler. You know, I just know this. I think that quarterback class is going to be it's going to be some misses.
I mean, how many quarterbacks you got going
misses.
first round though? Outside Caleb, how many other quarterbacks you got possibly going first round?
3 others.
What? May, Penix, Nix, possibly.
Penix, May, and Nix. Yep.
Let me say this.
I think it's going to be 4.
I don't like all them as first round draft picks, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let me say that.
I think Drake May has been. He's going to be he's probably going to be the second or third. He's going to be a top 3 pick. He is. We've been talking about Drake May for a minute now.
He's not going to fall past New England, I don't think.
He's not going to fall past New England.
Or the Commanders. Well, I don't know if the Commanders take a quarterback. They might.
I would love it if Drake May fell to us, but they're not going to fall. And then do you fire him, Jared Mayo with Drake May? That might be tough.
Hey, yo,
back.
Hey, Matt Jones about to be the next. Matt Jones about to be the next. Low budget Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, he's gonna be back up.
He gonna keep getting jobs. He ain't going to drop out of the NFL. He gonna keep getting jobs.
Back up.
He about to be Sam Darnold.
But he gonna be low budget.
He about to be Sam Darnold. I mean, maybe he'll get another shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Daniels, what name? Daniels from that came out of Missouri.
Chase Daniels.
Chase Daniels.
I like Chase Daniels though. I like Chase Daniels because Chase Daniels didn't have an attitude problem. I just like Chase Daniels. I think he came in he's a good backup. I think Mac Jones is a little arrogant. That's just me though. But he's about to be a backup. Okay.
What about Jalen Daniels?
Jalen Daniels.
Quarterback from LSU. They got him.
LSU, yep. There's going to be a lot. We say this every year. We say it every year, Craig. What's it, 5 quarterbacks? Every year. We be like, nah, it's not going. We know Drake May's going second behind Caleb. We know Bo Nix is going to go.
I've been hearing McCarthy from Michigan
too. I heard that.
They got 6 quarterbacks here. This is mock draft. In the first round.
I don't think it's going to be too much. I think my friends, if Drake May falls to the Commanders, I say yes. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to have the top 5 pick. I say we get a tackle. See what we have with Howard, give him a tackle. But I'm not. If it's not Drake May or I like Michael Penix, but do we get him at 5? Or do we trade down? He's not going to go that high, right? We're going to end up going to like the Raiders.
Hey, it's possible. It's possible if they have a great combine.
Yeah, but Drake May. If I was a Commanders fan, only I really like Michael Penix, but I think 5 is too high. But I would draft Drake May. But we're gonna have the top 5 pick. So I would just get a tackle. If I'm Commanders, I'm just getting a tackle.
But then you go what San Fran dealt with. So what would you trade? I mean, would you keep Howe or would you trade him for a pick? Would you trade Howe?
The top 5 pick, I'm not getting the quarterback we want. If Drake May falls to us at 5, I would draft him. I just don't think that's gonna happen. And Caleb Williams is not falling. So if I'm not getting those 2 prospects or Marvin Harrison, then I would get a tackle.
Yeah, I would get
a chance to get the best tackle in the draft.
Yeah, I would get Duke from Penn State or Duke from
Notre Dame. Yeah, we got a chance to get him.
Then trade back. If you got to trade back,
I wouldn't even trade back. I would pick him at 5. I wouldn't trade back. Them tackles go very quickly, man. If we get a good tackle, let's see what we have and how. If he sucks, we'll be drafting again. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the only way I'm picking somebody over Howell because he's shown me enough to give him another year is Drake May and Kelly Williams, and they're not going to be there. So I'll give him another. Listen, if Zach Wilson could get 2.5 to 3 years, and Mac Jones, we gotta give Howell something. We have to. To be honest with you, I've liked what I've seen from him. So, yeah. Okay, Craig, let me ask you this. The playoffs will begin in about 4 weeks. Oh, it's week 13. I think it's your top 5. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I think it is. Maybe I'm tripping. But
it is.
Yeah, can't wait. All right. I'm gonna go down the first seed from the AFC. Just give me your first through 7th at the end of the season. And I'm gonna say who the first 7 now. I want you to give me your 1 through 7, who you think are gonna finish for the AFC. Right now, it's the Ravens, the 1 seed, Chiefs, the 2 seed, Jaguars, 3 seed, Dolphins, 4 seed, Steelers, 5 seed, Browns, 6 seed, Colts, 7 seed. Which seeds do you have at the end of the season? 1 through 7.
I think I'm going with the Chiefs at 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens 2, the Dolphins 3, the Jaguars 4. I guess. I mean, I'm going.
You don't want to say it. You're gonna say it. Yeah.
I guess Pittsburgh 5.
Yeah.
Let me get Houston at 6, and I want to say Buffalo. I really want to put them in there, but I can't because they got some tough games. So I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Cleveland. I think I'm gonna go Cleveland at 7.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Mo. AFC. Your joint is really close to mine, Craig. Mo, the AFC. The first seed is Ravens. Second seed is Chiefs. Third seed Jaguars. Fourth seed Dolphins. Fifth seed Steelers. Sixth seed Browns. Seventh seed the Colts. At the end of the year, what are your 1 through 7 AFC playoff seeds?
All right, AFC. I'm gonna go 1 Baltimore. And I'm going more emotion than reality right now. So sue me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go more emotion than reality. But I'm gonna go Baltimore 1. I'm gonna go KC 2, Miami 3, Jacksonville 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Pitt 5, Houston 6, and Buffalo sneaking in at 7.
Oh,
as a real dangerous. Last minute, I'm gonna go Buffalo 7.
Oh, they got a hard schedule, bro.
You got a real hard schedule, Baltimore.
Yeah,
Baltimore's got a tough schedule.
They do, but
Baltimore has I think Baltimore has the toughest schedule.
Yeah, they do. They got the toughest schedule out of all the. Well, I think they got the toughest schedule out of the top 4.
Buffalo's up there. Buffalo and Cincinnati's up there, and the Chiefs are not. So I got the Chiefs as my number 1 seed. But I do have Baltimore as my number 2 seed. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars as a number 3 seed. They got a soft schedule. Number 4 seed, I got Miami. Number 5th seed, I got the Steelers. Which is just very interesting. The 6th seed, I have the Texans. And the 7th seed, I got the Browns. I think the defense can carry them. They got a soft schedule. I think they get into the playoffs.
The same thing.
Yeah. Except for that, 3 or 4. I just think the Browns I think they slide in. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to say the Bills, but losing to the Eagles was huge for them. That was a big game because that was the game that started their stretch. Because Eagles got a rough stretch, but Bills stretches, it's not good. All right, Craig, for the NFC, the number 1 seed is gonna be faster than the last one. The number 1 seed is the Eagles, 49ers, Lions. The Falcons are number 4, the Cowboys are number 5, the Vikings are number 6, and the Seahawks are number 7. Who you got 1 through 7 at the end of the season, Craig?
No, the Seahawks are 6. Minnesota 7.
Seahawks is 6. Minnesota 7. Oh, because they just lost. That's right. Because I sent it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Monday night. Okay, that's what I'll switch it. That's my fault. That's exactly right. Because the Vikings just lost.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the same top 3: Eagles, 49ers, Lions. The Lions, that was a big time loss for them. I thought they could have challenged for the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
or definitely the number 2, but I think that loss is going to come back to haunt them. 4, I got the Saints. Just don't believe in the Falcons. 5, I got the Cowboys.
Yeah.
6, I got the Seahawks, and 7, I'm going with the Packers. Packers. I picked them.
Did we both pick them at the beginning?
I'm sticking with them, even though they. I think I picked them 7. I started to jump off. I think I might have jumped off. I might have, but they're right there now, especially after that win over Detroit. So both picked.
You know what's crazy? I was just telling Mo that at the beginning of the season, I had the Bills not make it in the Broncos, and that I know I didn't have the Broncos, but the Broncos wouldn't surprise me if they made it. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. We just, you know what it is, crazy? We impatient. We gotta just stick to our guns. We know what we're talking about, man.
It looks good early, and then
it gets crazy. I was like, what type of picks did I do?
You just want to jump off the bandwagon for a little bit, and then a couple weeks later, all of a sudden, it's like, man, I should have stayed with what I said.
Yeah. Both the top 1 through 7 seed for the NFC at the end of the season. Who you got?
All right. I'm gonna go San Fran number 1, Philly number 2, Detroit number 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Atlanta number 4. I just feel like at some point, this combination gotta go. You got listen though. You got the dude they Pitts, who you talk about, but it be gold jacket timing. You got London, you got Robinson, you got talent there. It has to click eventually. I'm hoping.
And they got a good defense. Their defense is solid.
I'm gonna go Dallas number 5.
Yeah.
Seattle at 6, and I'm gonna go LA Rams at number 7. I like how they.
Okay. That's not a bad pick.
I like how they sneaking.
I like that. I like that, Mo. That's not. I look up. I'm like, wait a minute. The Rams is another one of those teams. Like, wait a minute. We thought they were terrible, and then they're starting all these rookies, and they might make the playoff. Don McVay's a hell of a coach, man.
Yeah.
and they got a first round pick next year.
Yeah.
They're about to level it up. Yeah. So I have the Eagles number 1, the 49ers number 2, the Lions number 3. I do not believe in the Falcons. They don't even know which quarterback they want. And Arthur Smith be wild with his coaching calls. I don't know what he'd be looking at or seeing. I don't know. I got the Saints at 4, Cowboys at 5, Seahawks at 6. They should finish up the season. They're worrying me a little bit. I like the Rams. I'm not mad at. I got the Packers. Man. I got Jordan Love going to the playoffs. Very creepy stat. Jordan Love, through his first year starting, has the same win and loss record, the same passing yards and passer rating as Aaron Rodgers. Very eerie.
Hey, we all agree this coach of the year race is closer than the past couple of years because of the stats. So let me ask you a question.
Because if Houston and Broncos and the Lions go to playoffs, it's going to get real funky.
Let me say this though. This me, funky. And I'm gonna say this: if Houston makes it to the playoffs, I feel like D'Amico Ryan should get coach of the year. That's just me. If Houston makes it,
it's going to be tough because you're going to have D'Amico. With the rookie quarterback making the playoffs,
right? That's my argument. I'm not mad at the Denver pick, but my argument is, with that situation being as bad as it is with management, and he came in there and he got them to the playoffs.
No, Lions haven't been. Lions win 12 games. They haven't did that in a long time, brother.
I get that's a mistake.
Houston was just in the playoff. Lions ain't been the Lions in the playoffs. They win the division.
It would have to be one of them two.
I don't know, Sean. So I saw the odds. It's get Dan Campbell, D'Amico Ryans. Watch out for Sean Payton if Denver make it to the playoffs. His name is going to start being in that conversation too.
But let me tell you this:
it's going to be close, Mo. If those three teams go to the playoffs, it's going to be close, Mo.
Let me tell you this:
I'm telling you,
it was bad coaching to me. Close. It's not that he had heard it a bad situation.
Who?
He didn't.
Sean Payton. Like, not like he had heard it a crazy. Like, let me tell you this:
it's not worse than Houston's.
Right, it was nowhere near.
And for a first-year head coach, Sean Payton's been a coach for years. I would have to go with Houston.
I would go with Houston. I'm just telling you what the odds are saying. What Vegas is saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even blink at it. He takes that team to the playoffs, first-year head coach with a first-year rookie quarterback. Man,
yeah, that's great. Yeah. With no receiver that you can even name, unless you know football.
Take Dell.
No, I'm saying unless you know football.
Their defense wasn't that good last year either. That defense was not good.
Defense. And listen,
they didn't even win a home game last year.
Who's the GM? Nick Caracero? That's the GM?
I don't know.
I think it's Nick Caracero. From New England. He looks like a beast right now. Let me make sure because
those teams good too. He looks like he might get some looks for a head coaching job. What he's done.
Who?
The offensive coordinator.
Oh, yep.
I think it's his first year being offensive coordinator. But
do y'all think the sidebar before we move on? Do y'all think Lions offensive coordinator turn down more jobs again? Or do you think
Nick Cassero.
He needs to. I wouldn't turn down. It depends on what job is open. If he sees something out there that he thinks he could work with, I wouldn't turn it down. This year.
Who? What? Turn what down?
Detroit offensive coordinator. Remember, he turned jobs down. He stayed with Detroit.
Nah,
I would have to find a job, man. At this point in time, you've done all you. I mean, you've done a phenomenal job the last 2 seasons.
At Detroit, yeah, he's gonna be gone.
What else do you have to do? Like, what else do you have to prove as the coordinator at that point?
Yeah,
you're the hottest, probably the hottest or one of the hottest coordinators or coaches out there.
He'll be the hottest.
Trying to get
he'll be the hottest
a job.
Y'all think BNB going to be offensive coordinator next year or a head coach?
I don't know.
He's been turned down for head coaching jobs for a while. I don't know if he gets promoted within.
I don't think he interviews well. I heard he don't interview. I heard he ain't cut his time.
It hasn't.
You can't tell me that when Josh McDaniels. You think Josh McDaniels interview well? I don't believe that.
Yeah.
They be hiring some bum head coaches. They be hiring some trash head coaches. Talking about he don't interview well. You think Urban Meyer interviewed well?
That's fake.
He did something well.
Yeah, he did.
Hey,
listen, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. I don't want to hear that. Don't interview well.
I get it. No, I definitely get it. I want BNB to get a job, but I don't think he ain't gonna get Washington. Let me say that.
I think he might be back in KC. Matt Nagy might get a job again. Somebody's gonna probably retread it, especially if they go to the AFC Championship game. So I can see Eric Bieniemy back at Kansas City because the only thing is that he's in a losing situation. The new owner's gonna want. We might want Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? We might want Jim Harbaugh. I don't know.
Hey, Craig, who would you want to be the head coach? Who would you want right now? Like, who would you want to be named head coach?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
The guy from Miami, the OC from Miami. What's his name? Frank Smith.
Yeah.
I like him.
Y'all might have to get something like him. Y'all might have to get somebody young.
Well, Bobby Slowick is young. The OC for Houston, he's young, but I wouldn't. If I was him, he might not want to leave that job at this point.
He might want to wait for a year. You think something better is going to open up?
I think this is his first year. I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I think it's his first year as an OC. So, and plus he's really young. He's like in his mid 30s. So, I wouldn't even be mad if they hired if they bought the defensive coordinator, promoted him to be the head coach. At this point,
if they say Harbaugh from Michigan, would you be mad?
I wouldn't be mad, but
you don't like.
He would dominate that division.
I don't know, man.
He would dominate that joint.
I don't know, man. Harbaugh. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
He wins everywhere he goes, man.
So I know he's a former head coach for the NFL, like a former NFL head coach, but sometimes college coaches they just don't work out.
I get,
and they've already had one college coach there.
But this thing, I think any coach that's going to be hired, they're going to force their hand to be like, we need to see a strong OC.
They need
to deal with Bryce Young.
Tell the coach that they
bring a strong OC in there.
They need that, and they need to tell the owner just like give me a long-term deal and just get out of my way. Just leave me alone.
Give me a chance.
That's going to be the issue. It's going to take. Listen, I'm going to be honest, man. That's going to be tough. That's tough when you have an owner that's meddling, man. It's going. I don't know because it doesn't seem like he still wants to be hands-on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He needs
to step back like San Francisco. Oh, that's what all the winning franchises do. You don't hear Jeff. You don't hear the Eagles owner. You don't hear the Ravens owner. You hear the GMs. The GMs be on the sideline. Howie Roseman and all the players. What's the Ravens GM name? Golly, I just saw him on the sidelines the other day. They let the great owners let the GMs do their job.
Well, this GM for the Panthers sucks too, so it's not like he's done it phenomenal.
Yeah, he needs to fire him.
Scott Furr.
And the first time in a couple years, the Commanders look like a good place to work. We haven't had that in a long time, man. New ownership, the owner's good. He understands winning. Magic Johnson understands winning. They're going to let the GM do their job. Right now, we're looking at San Francisco, somebody in San Francisco. We're looking at a couple GM positions, but I'm just excited, you know. If you want Howell, you can keep Howell. If you don't, we're going to end up with a top 5 pick. So you can get your quarterback. Because there's going to be one there. That's nice to fire the owner. They had to force the owner out, and he almost didn't go unwillingly.
Well, the Panthers forced their owner out too. Must be nice to have hope.
That's right. That is right. Yeah, I forgot.
Well, kind of.
I think your owner will get it together. He has to.
No, he won't. I don't have any faith in him, and I just don't.
Are a lot of fans saying? They're just. Are y'all saying like we do not like the owner?
A lot of people have. This is an embarrassment. This is embarrassing. It just is. I don't know who would want to be there at this point. You didn't make Bryce Young feel. I guess some people are saying that he didn't make Bryce Young feel welcome with his comments about jumping up to the number 2 pick and taking
CJ Stroud.
But
I said that, right?
I didn't take it that way, but
the owner said that, right?
Yeah. But I didn't take it.
You wanted Bryce Young. This is the weird stuff I'm talking about.
I just think he didn't make any sense with what he said because it didn't.
Yes,
it didn't make any sense in terms of how he was supposed to come to that situation to be at the number 2 pick when Houston's already at the number 2 pick. Like, are you saying that Houston was supposed to go to number 1?
Trade,
and then you were supposed to trade with number 2, which would have been Chicago.
Bears, right?
Like it just didn't make any sense with how he did it. I don't know.
Because Houston wasn't going to trade out of that. They're not trading out of that.
I mean, if they wanted Bryce Young, which I mean, if that's what the rumors were, if they wanted Bryce Young, they could have traded up with Chicago, and then maybe Carolina traded up with Chicago for the number 2 pick.
Right.
Carolina, Houston was not trading their pick, yo.
Yeah,
they were going to wait till somebody do something. They were going to wait till a GM. They were going to wait.
I'm saying, but if they really wanted Bryce Young and
crazy
Bryce Young was going to go 1, then the only way they would have been able to get him would have been to trade up to 1.
Right.
Yep. And they didn't trade up to 1. Carolina did. And
they drafted Bryce Young.
It looks
the
stupid.
comments sound crazy
because the way everything worked out, it looked like they made a bad decision. Even with Anthony Richardson, it looked like they made a bad decision because Anthony Richardson was. I mean, he's balling out, but he's susceptible to getting hurt.
Good. Yeah, but he looked more stable. Let's say.
Even Will Levis in his first game, he had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Damn, Rich Eisen said Will Levis has more quarterback wins than Bryce Young.
No, is that true?
I was like, damn.
No.
I think he has 2 wins.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, but let me say this though.
But he has 2 wins. Yeah, I think he has 2 wins.
What do you do? I mean, what do you do? So they're going to have to
That's crazy.
They're going to report decision because, like, what do you do now with Derrick Henry, and then what you gonna do moving forward?
I don't know what Tennessee is gonna do because, I mean, if they finish off, probably trade him.
Yeah, because you got Spears. I think Spears is solid. I think he's
I would trade him. I would trade Tannehill. I would start over. I would trade them and Tannehill and just rebuild.
Just rebuild. Get a wide receiver next year. Draft first round.
Right. Yeah, I would rebuild. I would trade.
Tannehill. To be honest, Will Levis, I would keep him.
I would let Will Levis battle it out with Malik Willis.
Yeah, and then I would trade Tannehill. I would trade Derrick Henry. Get whatever picks I can get, and let's boogie and let's do what we can do.
I would trade D-Hop. I mean, but then again, you don't have because Burks is just always hurt and he sucks.
Yeah,
God, he's terrible. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Anyway, guys. All right, it is time to press the panic button or nah. My take where I just, hey man, sometimes it's time to press the panic button and blow it all up. Sometimes, man, I'm telling you, man. Sometimes it's time to do it. And listen, guys, me and Craig just went through this, and we'll go serious too. When you make picks in sports, stick with your pick and don't go off of it. But we all are human, and sometimes we say, "Hey, listen, I'm wiping my hands clean," and then a couple games later, the ties shift. Everything changes. That's what the NFL and NBA is like. So let's enjoy it. Panic time for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back, guys. They're 4-7. Boyle's not a good quarterback. Zach Wilson's not a good quarterback. At this point, you might as well let Zach Wilson finish the season. He's better than Boyle. That's what it looks like to me. You got to fix your O-line. Aaron Rodgers is going to need a lot of protection. But the good news is y'all going to have a good pick, and you get Aaron Rodgers back next year. Let's use the good picks and protect Aaron Rodgers' Jets. But right now, I'm hitting the panic button because y'all going to have a nice top pick. I would say the panic button for the Bengals, but I think that everybody knows what situation they're in. I'm going to go. This is the first time this has ever happened on Panic Button. The panic button is for the whole NFC South. Thought about it today. Number 1, the Panthers. We already know what the Panthers are. We talked about them. We talked about the Panthers, guys. The owner's crazy. He's saying comments. He doesn't know what's from up and down, this and that. He's had the same amount of interim coaches as the same amount of head coaches. He fires during the season. And we don't know. And you have no first overall pick. And you don't know if Bryce Young is good. We don't know if the talent is good enough around him, or you don't know his coaching. You're in a bad spot, Carolina. The Saints. Is it Derek Carr or is it Dennis Allen? It could be both. Listen, guys, I'm a Derek Carr fan, but I'm going to really be honest with you right now. He's looking bad. And listen, if he gets another head coach and he's offensive-minded and they don't win it, the division next year, and they suck, quarterback wins is not a stat, but it is. And he won't have many. So, panic time for the Falcons. What is Desmond Ridder, Tyler Haneke? The quarterbacks are crazy. You should have drafted a quarterback this year. Maybe not. Maybe Will Levis fits perfect at number 8. We don't know. But guess what, Atlanta? You suck. Your head coach has 3 explosive offensive players. Your quarterback doesn't have the arm strength. He can't calculate fast. And I like Desmond Ridder, but now I understand why he had a 3rd round, 4th round grade on him. And he's a nice backup. He's not a starter, guys. Not a starter. Start over, Atlanta. Start over. Shout out. Justin Fields to Atlanta will be interesting. I will see if it worked for you with a new head coach. Fire Arthur Smith. Saints, Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker, you're a strong young man. I just don't think you're a good NFL quarterback. Todd Bowles is your 2nd time as an NFL head coach. I like you, but wins matter in NFL. The words of my man Shannon Sharp, the NFL is the only place where your resume updates daily, game by game, season by season. Todd Bowles, you don't have any winning seasons. And you're in a division with teams that suck. And that's really it. That's a quick panic, man. Everybody's okay at this point. We know who the Raiders are. We know who the Cardinals are. We know who the Titans are. So yeah. Now on to Craig's top 5 NFL rankings.
So this is my top 5 Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving football moments, I guess, or NFL.
I like that. Okay.
Just had Thanksgiving last week, so yeah, why not? So I'm gonna give quick little fun facts, really quick about how the Thanksgiving games. The Thanksgiving games go back to 1920. They've been played ever since 1920 on Thanksgiving. Except with the exception of 1941 through 1944 because of World War II. In 2006, the NFL added the primetime game, and they've been played ever since, except for 2020 because of COVID between the Ravens and the Steelers. I think
they added that in 2006.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize that either, but yeah, it's 2006. Wow. The first Thanksgiving Day game was played in 1920, like I said earlier. In a shootout between the Akron Pros and the Canton Bulldogs of the then American Professional Football Association, which then later became the NFL. And that game was the Akron Pros 7, Canton Bulldogs 0. Great game. The Lions have been playing on Thanksgiving since 1934. They played 84 games total. Their record is 37-45-2. And the most frequent matchup in Thanksgiving history is between them and the Packers. They played 22 times, which was one of the times this past Thursday. The Lions lead the series 12-9-1. The Cowboys, which I didn't know this until recently, they didn't start playing until 1966. They've played 56 games. The record is 33-22-1. With the exception of 1977 and 1975, they played on Thanksgiving every single time since 1966. And their most frequent matchup is against the Commanders. And they played them 11 times, and the Cowboys lead that series 9-2.
Yeah.
Do you know the only NFL team that hasn't played on the only current NFL team that has not played on Thanksgiving?
Let me take a guess. Hold on. Give me a quick. Give me a hint. NFC or AFC?
AFC.
Never. Chiefs.
No. It's the Jaguars. They're the only team that hasn't never played a Thanksgiving game, even like Houston.
They might get it next year.
Perhaps, hopefully. I don't know what their schedule is.
Jaguars, which makes sense because they're the newest expansion team.
Well,
and they're not good.
Well, they're one.
They
of
were
the
good.
And them, the Panthers.
Yeah.
So
and the Browns got to come to Browns too.
I mean,
but they left it in Baltimore.
Yeah, but I mean. So my first game is number 5. My first Thanksgiving moment is from 1998 between the Vikings and the Cowboys. This is the debut, pretty much, or the rookie season of Randy Moss. Yeah, 3 catches for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, 56-yarder, a 56-yarder, and a 51-yarder.
That was a crazy game.
So, and that was his breakout season. He had a beast of a season that year. And on Thanksgiving he showed out, and the Vikings got the win. In 2012, we had the Patriots and the Jets. This is the infamous butt fumble game between Mark Sanchez running into the
my brother. He's a big Jets fan.
I mean, you could actually go and this is a Wikipedia thing. Butt fumble. It has a whole article on it. I mean, and the crazy part is after he fumbled, it was recovered by Steve Gregory of the Patriots, and he took it in for a touchdown. And this was a blowout. The Patriots won 49-19, but the thing people remember from this game is the butt fumble.
The butt fumble. Yep, Mark Sanchez.
So number 3, I have this is just because it's personal to me, but this is the Panthers' only Thanksgiving game. They played. They've only played one, and they played against the Cowboys. And this was the year that the Panthers were they went to the bowl. They were undefeated.
Cam Newton
in the regular season until the last game where they lost to the Falcons, but they finished 15-1. And this game was 33-14. The Panthers easily beat the Cowboys.
I love that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was a big win. I think the Cowboys were terrible that year, but the Panthers were really good.
I would go for a minute, for a couple of years, man.
Number 2, I have from 98 as well. This was the other game, the Lions and the Steelers. This was the infamous heads, tails, Jerome Bet. Call where he said he called tails, but the ref said he called heads, and it was just a back and forth. So this eventually led to the rule change, where now they had to say heads or tails, and then the referee confirms it, and then he flips the coin. So this was a big deal because this led to something that's been changed ever since 1998. And the result of that game was the Lions winning that in overtime, 19-16. And number 1, I mean, it's definitely from 1993, the Dolphins against the Cowboys. The Leon Lett blocked field goal recovery where the field goal is blocked. Leon Lett lands on it. It squirts out. The
Miami
cover, and then they kick a even shorter field goal when they win it 16-14. I think Leon Lett had something the year before in the Super Bowl where he was running it back.
He was like this. They were going to break the record.
Yeah, he had some crazy moments, and this was the craziest on Thanksgiving for me. So those are my top 5 Thanksgiving moments of NFL football.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. Thanksgiving is awesome for football.
It has some good games so far. This past week wasn't not so much, but
no, the Lions and Packers was bomb.
I mean the Lions were that game.
The Cowboys against the Commanders was horrible.
I mean, but that was close. it was 20-10 going to the fourth, and then they just blew the doors off.
Yeah, that joint, man, we got punished on Thanksgiving.
Hopefully
And
next
then
year.
the Seahawks, and the 49ers wasn't good either.
No. So I
And
don't
then
know,
the Black Friday game,
that wasn't good either.
I did for 3 quarters, but it wasn't good either.
I wasn't into it.
It wasn't good either. I was in there for 3 quarters. All right, guys. Mo, I'm gonna start out with you. Crazy NFL upset pick for week 13.
I mean, it's some out there, but I'm gonna go crazy. When we say crazy,
yeah,
I know. I'm gonna go out here on a limb right here. And when we say crazy, I love creating controversy. And I'm gonna word this in a way that's respectable to everybody. But when you do what you going to do,
okay,
and you fire people, and you do what you got to do, you got to grab a set. So I'm gonna go Washington Commanders over Miami Dolphins.
Whoa!
Wow!
This is going crazy.
I feel like you gotta eventually, as grown men, you gotta say, listen, all the hiring, all the firing, somebody gotta take it personally. I feel like somebody gotta take it personally. And we say crazy. Right. It's crazy, but I'm gonna say crazy. We thought it crazy.
That's way
Washington over Miami.
That's insane. I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We'll see. I
think that's the biggest line.
That might be the biggest line.
That's 9.5.
Yeah.
Right, man.
Maybe. Craig, what's your one crazy upset pick alert?
I am not going that crazy. But I will pick a team that's at least 4 points under. I'm going with the Saints over the Lions.
Oh, that was interesting. I was looking at that.
The Lions are 4-point favorites, but after what happened last week at home against the Packers on Thanksgiving, when you haven't won since 2016, and they go out there and they just lay an egg, and I think the Saints are. I mean, they need this win, so I got to go with the Saints. I think their defense holds serve, and they get back to the lead in the NFC South.
Cool. This is gonna sound. I'm gonna make this pick, and this might be a little bit crazy, but I'm gonna pick the Cardinals over the Steelers.
Whoa!
I'm picking the Cardinals over the Steelers. I think Kyler Murray is. I think last week was a divisional game. Divisional games can be funny. They've got 2 wins, yes, but their Steelers offense scares me to death. It does, man. Kenny Pickett is thrown 2 touchdowns on a year?
No, 2 touchdowns since like week 4.
That's crazy.
Which is terrible.
And they fired they fired the offensive coordinator, and it's still not good. And I don't think Kenny Pickett is good. I just don't. I think they're gonna lose to like the Cardinals. It's gonna be a very interesting game.
I think it was Mo that sent it out, and it said that Kenny Pickett has the same amount of touchdowns as Anthony Richardson since week 4, and Anthony Richardson hasn't played since week 4 or whatever, or since week 3.
He has 6 touchdhdowns, Craig.
I mean,
he's played 11 games and played. It has 6 touchdowns
since week 3, week 4 and later 2 touchdowns. That's it.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm giving credit that he only has 1 pick, but I mean, there's no excuse for you to be a first-round quarterback with Pickens and Johnson and Harris and Warren, and they got Fairmouth back now, and he cannot throw a touchdown. I don't know what to say.
Not throw a
Especially in this passing happy era of NFL football. and you only have 6 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns since week 3 or week 4.
That's crazy.
That's just unacceptable, man.
It's
and
unacceptable.
They finally had 400 total yards of offense for the first time in how many games was it? It was like 50 some games or something like that.
That joint is crazy, man.
They still didn't get a touchdown pass out of Kenny Pickett with 400 total yards.
That's crazy. Kenny Pickett is. I don't believe in it, and they're gonna go to the playoffs and get punished.
It's pretty bad.
They're gonna get punished in the playoffs because right now they're looking to where they're gonna be the 5th seed. So they're gonna play either the Jaguars or the Dolphins. They're gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm not.
They gotta go to Miami or Jacksonville in the playoffs. They're gonna lose.
It might be some bad quarterbacks in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, it might be.
With the more seeds, or at least bad quarterback play. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if the Browns make it bad quarterback play, Geno has not been great. He has not been. It is kind of blowing me a little bit because I'm like, come on, Geno. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Anyway, man, let's go to the favorite segment of the night. Who you got? Let's go, man. I'm taking my soundboard, guys. I'm telling you, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm going to start it off. Actually, I'm looking forward to this game. It's not going to come out as everybody is expected, but the Seahawks versus the Cowboys. Coaching. I gotta go with Mike McCarthy. He's 8-3. He has a chance to probably gonna go 12-5 again for 3 years straight, man. And Dak has been playing good this year. Dak's been playing way better than he did last year. And led the league in interceptions. I think that's coaching. The players like McCarthy. They play for him. You can't say they don't play for him. Now they haven't beat a team with the, winning record, but I gotta give it to Mike McCarthy. And Mo, if they fire him, he's gonna have a job quick. He is. Offense, I gotta go with the Cowboys. Now I do like Seattle's offense, but we just said this earlier is that I'm picking Dak over Geno, right? I don't know what happened to Geno this year. I thought Geno was going to be a lot better. I thought they were going to finish. I thought they were going to battle San Francisco for the division. Do you know what I mean? And now it just seems like San Francisco won the battle again. Like, I just thought Geno would be playing better. They have a really good receiving core, good O-line, good running backs. But Geno Smith just is not playing good. On the other side, you got Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks. They're playing good. The offense is clicking, man. Tony Pollard. The offense is balling, man. Defense, I got to go with the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons. He's having a good year. And Bland, what? You talking about he has 5-6 picks? 5 pick sixes? Like, I mean, this defense is playing good. And it's one of the best. Yeah, that's right. Deron Bland. Yes, they're playing good. So I'm going to pick Dallas. Overall, I think Dallas wins this one big. I don't know what's going on with Seattle, but I haven't liked the way they've been playing recently. And I think Dallas wins this one big, 35-17. All right, Craig. Seahawks versus Cowboys. Who you got?
Coaching, I am going with McCarthy. I didn't think I would probably say that because I don't really know how good of a coach he is. I mean, I mean, he always gets flack for his in-game situations or his clock management, but I mean, so far, at least this season anyway, he hasn't really had that issue. They haven't beaten anybody with a winning record. Pretty much, the Cowboys are the same team as the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They have a good. They're already a really good team, but they just haven't beaten anybody. So you really don't know how good they are when they face good competition. Is when they seem to just fold. Now, Seattle, granted, they haven't beaten above. Or Dallas hasn't beaten a team above 500, so this will be the first team. But I mean, Seattle just hasn't. I don't know. So, offense, I'm going with Dallas. Dak Prescott looks like an MVP candidate out there. I mean, granted,
I agree with you.
3 games, 4 games, he hasn't played anybody. I mean, he hasn't played. He's putting up numbers against bums for the most part. He did. I mean,
Crispy Star calls them tomato cans, but you're right.
He's basically just stat padding at this point. Stephen A. Smith said he's had 4 first quarterback or the Dallas Cowboys' first team in history to have 4 bye weeks in the same season. And I can't disagree with him. I mean, the Giants, the Panthers, the Patriots are on there. I mean, it's just the way he played the Commanders. I mean, even though it's a division game, but I mean, the Giants twice. I mean, they beat the Giants for them 49-17 in 2 games.
Yep.
What?
They punished the Jets too, didn't they?
That's a divisional game. Yeah, they beat the Jets too. They just haven't beaten anybody. I'm surprised. I can't believe, looking back at that loss against the Cardinals, how crazy that was. But I'm not sure if Kenneth Walker's going to play in this game. It's a short week. He didn't play last week. Geno's kind of taking a step back versus where Dak is taking a step forward. All the guys that he has to throw the ball to, I can't pick Seattle, even though I think their receiving group, I would probably take their receiving group as a whole.
Better than Dallas, yeah.
I mean, because the Cowboys just have CeeDee Lamb versus I think Lockett and Metcalf, kind of just those two alone. I think, or those two as a group would outweigh CeeDee Lamb. But if Cooks can play like he has been the last couple of weeks, I think that's really going to help them, especially when they get to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Defensively, I'm going with the Cowboys again. I think Bland might be a sneaky defensive player of the year pick. I mean, he has 5 defensive touchdowns. That's a record.
Crazy.
5 pick sixes. I think he has 7 picks.
Yeah.
So
people keep throwing to him. This is crazy.
Which is crazy. Especially when there's no Diggs on the other side. But you know, if Bland plays like this next season with Diggs healthy, it could be trouble. But I love the way he's playing. I mean, I haven't really even heard of Michael Parsons. He's having a quiet season for the most part, compared to how he played last year. But I got to go with the Cowboys there. So I do finally think the Cowboys get their first win against a team with a winning record. I do agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a close one. Give me the Cowboys 34-17.
All right. Oh, Craig. Michael Parsons has 11.5 sacks now. Last year he had 13.5. He's going to probably get about 18, 19 sacks.
To me, it just seems like it's just been a quiet 11
I agree.
Like I haven't really – I've been hearing more about Bland, especially with what he's done, breaking the record and all that, and Dak Prescott. Yeah. So –
yeah. Yeah, I agree. Mo, Seahawks versus Cowboys. Who you got?
Coaching. That's tough. I'm gonna go Mike McCarthy. Just off of after last year, a lot of scrutiny. You fired the offensive coordinator. You fired Kellen Moore. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go Mike McCarthy. I like what Dallas offense is seeing. I think that has more confidence than we ever seen before.
Yeah.
Defensively, Dallas. I mean, Dallas, they throw a lot at you. It's ridiculous. I was talking to my brother Todd. I said, be careful.
Yeah.
Do not start smelling yourselves because the wrong team. This is the wrong team to smell yourself. Because if you look at it, if you look at Pete Carroll gonna come in there, they're gonna come in there swinging. They ain't gonna lay down. But I see Dallas seeing the writing on the wall, like, okay, let's go ahead and truly snatch. Even if we don't snatch the number 1 seed, let's truly snatch the 5 seed. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Dallas. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Pete Carroll, knowing what they've been through, he's gonna come out fighting. So I'm gonna go Dallas 27-21.
All right. Craig, Broncos versus Texans. Who you got?
All right, Coach. I'm going with DeMeco Ryans. I can't dismiss the job that he's done. The team was 3-13-1 last year. I mean, the job that he's done coming into the season, and he's got this team at 6-5. Granted, the NFC South or the AFC South isn't that great, but I mean, I didn't see the Texans playing like this or playing this well or being in this position to have a chance to go to the playoffs. The Broncos, you got to give them credit for how the season started, giving up 70 points in one game. The defense looked horrible. They started the season 0-3. At one point, they were 1-5, and now they've won 5 games in a row, including some big wins over the Chiefs, Bills, Minnesota was in there.
Yep.
The Browns, they don't have the quarterback, but I mean, you're beating some teams that are in the playoff hunt as well. You're not beating up on like the Panthers or the Cardinals or something like that. You're beating up on teams that are in the position to make a playoff run or have a chance to go to the playoffs. So, got to give them credit for that. I thought they would finish 3rd place, which is what they're on. They're on pace to finish 2nd. Damn, they are. Okay, I'll take that back. I thought they were going to finish 3rd, but they're exceeding my expectations. But I have to go with DeMeco Ryans. Offensively, I think I'm gonna go with Houston. I like the way CJ Stroud is playing. He had probably his worst game last week with the interceptions. And they were able to figure it out. So I think with Singletary playing the way he's been playing for the most part, Tank Dell and Nico Collins, these guys. Now I think after last week, after losing that game and CJ Stroud having that type of performance, I mean, some of these Bryce. I wish Bryce Young would have a performance like that, and that was a bad performance. Bryce Young's performances have been way worse. He still threw for over 300 yards in that game, even though they lost. I would take that any day of the week. I like the way Houston's offense is playing. Even though I do believe that Denver's offense is starting to come along and figure it out, but I got to go Houston. Defensively, I'm going with Denver. I think they've started to figure it out how to play defense now. They started to get back to that I guess the team that was one player away or a quarterback away from making the playoffs or having a big time run. And I think their defense is starting to show up now. And that's kind of got them back to this 6-5 record, 5-game winning streak.
Yeah.
And this is the defense that I thought was going to be there pretty much all season for the most part. And really outside of that 70-point loss, and then that game before that where they gave up all those points to the Commanders in that second half, the defense has pretty much been playing relatively well.
Yeah.
But I gotta go with I'm going with Houston for this win. I think CJ Stroud is just he's playing phenomenal, and I think I messed it up when I said CJ Stroud had some picks last week. It was the week before last, and they still found a way to win that game. This week he had no picks, but 300 yards passing. But they, the Jaguars got him a little bit. But I just think that this is the Texans game to win. They're going to be at home. They want to put a statement to basically together. You're going against another playoff team that's basically had the same record as you, and this is going to be an opportunity for them to separate themselves from that team. They'll have the tiebreaker. They'll be a game up. So I'm going Houston. 20. You know what? I'm going Houston 30-23.
All right, Mo. Broncos versus Texans. Who you got?
Ah, boy. So coaching, if it was anybody else, if it was a different situation, I'll go push. I can't go push. I'm gonna go D'Amico Ryans. I almost wanted to go push only because of if you start 1-5.
Yeah.
And now for your record to go there, I almost want to go push, but the only reason I'm not because it's a veteran coach.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a young coach, I would go push. But for it to be Sean Payton, I'm not gonna go push. So I'm gonna go D'Amico Ryans. Offense, boy. I'm gonna go Houston. CJ Stroud, better yards, more dynamic plays down the field. Defense, I'm gonna go Denver. They start off rough, but they figured it out. And I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm like what I'm seeing over the winning streak. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go Houston.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Houston on last second field goal. I'm gonna go Houston 34-31.
Oh, all right. Coach, I agree with you on D'Amico Ryans. I knew he was going to be a good hire. Came out of San Francisco. We knew it. Like, we knew wherever he went. Even though a lot of people picked Bryce Young, we both like CJ Stroud coming out, so we're not surprised. Surprised about Bryce Young, not about CJ Stroud. I just think I like what Sean Payton's doing now. He's turned around that franchise, and even if they finish 9-8 or 8-9, or I think I can see him finishing 8-9 or 9-8. That's a good season. Now you just have to draft and build. Russell looks like this contract is his contract. We're gonna let that be. But I just like D'Amico Ryans and the way he's doing it with the young team. They got him believing. Offense, I gotta go with the offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. Like, he's probably the best quarterback in the building. I love Russell Wilson, but this season is CJ Stroud. The way that he bounced back and the way that he talks in the microphone, his demeanor, they're like, because he has a lot of fourth quarter comebacks already in his career. And they were like, oh, man, what do you, how do you feel when your team's down? He's like, man, you know what it was? It was when he had that bad game. And he came back and drove and won. And he told people, he was like, listen, man, Steph Curry keeps shooting. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep throwing the ball every time to give my team a chance to win. That right there, if I'm his teammate, I'm like, yeah. That's like, yeah. We know we have CJ Stroud, so we know we're always in the game. It feels good going to work on a Monday because CJ Stroud's my quarterback. Defense, I got Denver. Denver's defense is CJ Stroud's a beast, man.
I know. I'm just thinking about the Panthers and everything.
Yeah. I got you, man.
What could have been, man?
Yeah. Frank. Man, if y'all got him, y'all would dominate. Y'all be winning division. It wouldn't even be no question. It would be his division for years. It wouldn't be no question. No question at all. Defense, I got Denver. You guys are right, man. That turnaround event. You know what? Vance Joseph is a good D coordinator. We were tripping. We were like, they gave us 70 points. That's good coaching, man. The Broncos is good. They're set up good, man. They're set up good. They're young. They're gonna draft well. So I just like the Broncos D. Who wins the game? I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be game of the week. I think it's gonna be good, man. I do. I do. Well, it's not gonna be better than the Eagles 49ers. We're getting that to next. But that's gonna be the second best game. That's gonna be the second best game. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, guys. If you catch this game, it's gonna be good. It's at 1 p.m. This is gonna be a good game. Unfortunately, I'll be watching my Commanders. Tyreek put up 200 yards. Anyway, that's neither here or there. So I have the Texans winning 24-21. I do not know why I have this game on here. We are skipping it because it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I was thinking, yo. Maybe I thought the Rams had 500, but we're not doing that. Mo, you're doing 49ers versus Eagles to wrap this up. Yeah, we're not doing that, Browns, Rams.
All right, 49ers versus Eagles. Who you got? Well,
this is who
This
you
tough.
got. This is
tough.
it. There's no push here.
I'm gonna
Let's
go
go.
Shanahan. I'm gonna go Shanahan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Shanahan only because how many coaches
Yeah.
or owners or coaches or whatever can go through what they've gone through
Yeah.
and still be winning? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody like the system quarterback, system, whatever. But you went through, people got to think about it for a second. With their record being what they've been through, they done played 8 different quarterbacks in the last 2 years. I might be off by a number or two, but they didn't play about 8 different quarterbacks, including playoffs. And the record is still what it is. So
I think so, yeah.
You gotta think about it. This is crazy. This is not what we've seen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Shanahan. Defensively, I'm still gonna go with San Francisco. Defensively.
That makes sense.
Since Young got there, now I heard something's crazy. But Young to put so much pressure on it now, they're playing one-on-one with they're playing one-on-one.
And they can sign Young. They can sign Young because they still got Nick Mullins.
Absolutely.
Not Nick Mullins. Prague Birdie.
So Young so now they made a decision they're gonna double team Young and let both go one-on-one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's see how you're gonna go with that. Let's see how you're gonna play with that.
Young baller.
So Young is balling. Sweat is balling in Chicago, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Offensively, I'm gonna go Eagles offensively. I'm sorry, AJ Brown. AJ Brown, the only reason I'm gonna go offensively. If it wasn't for AJ Brown, I would not go offensively with Philly. But AJ Brown has been on a different level. He was on a different level. It's a hard game to pick. It's a hard game. I'm gonna go San Fran. I'm gonna go San Fran in a close one, 24-20.
Oh. All right. 49ers versus Eagles. Who you got? Coach, I got Sirianni, man. I know he talks a lot of trash and he comes off brass, but then he got the Eagles 10-1, about to get the number 1 seed again for the second year in a row, and they're probably gonna go far in the playoffs. I just think he's a good coach. I do, man. I think that it's no knock on Shanahan, but I think that I hate to say it, Philly's gonna be the team to beat for a long time, especially if the NFC stays like this. They're gonna be the team to beat for a long time. I think Nick Sirianni's a good coach. He has them fired up. I remember when AJ Brown blew up on the sidelines, he came over there and said something. Like, I just think he comes off, he talks a lot of trash more than coaches, but he's a really good coach. He's a good situational coach. He knows how to clock manage at the end of games. He's a good coach, man. He's one of the best in the NFL. Offense, I'm going with the Eagles. And I got you with AJ Brown. I got you. I know San Francisco's Christian McCaffrey. I know they have Brandon Ayuk. But the Eagles have Swift, who's playing really well. Listen, he's not McCaffrey. I'm not saying that. But I think the difference is I like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a bomb quarterback, man. I think he's a bomb quarterback. And then they have – and look, Christian McCaffrey is number 1. DeAndre Smith is number 4. You know what I'm saying? And for receivers, A.J. Brown is number 4. And there's no San Francisco receiver. Now, I wish Debo had a healthier year, but he's been out. And they do have George Kittle. My apologies. But I just like the Eagles offense because of Jalen Hurts, man. And Jason Kelce, too. I'm putting Jason Kelce in there, man. He's a beast. Defense, I'm going with San Francisco. It's easy. They have one of the best defenses in the league. Chase Young fits right in, and they're going to pay him because they can afford to because they have Brock Purdy. So they're going to have – Brock Purdy's going to have a super team for years. So he needs to win a Super Bowl these next 3 years because after that, there's no excuses. But I have the I think this is going to be the game of the week. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be phenomenal. And – I got the Eagles. Edging it out, man. And because of Jalen Hurts. He's starting to solidify himself behind Patrick Mahomes, man. Especially go to another Super Bowl. So I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles winning. 35-31. It's gonna be a field goal or a last second touchdown. Craig, 49ers versus Eagles. Who you got?
Okay, coaching. Both coaches have done a phenomenal job this season. It's easy to say Sirianni because he only has one loss. I'm going to go with Sirianni slightly.
It's close. It's not
really close. I think the job. Yeah, I just think that. Let me hold on. Let me go.
It's close. You can go either or, man.
Real quick, guys. You know what? I am okay. I'm still sticking with it. It's really close though. Both coaches have done a great job. I think the last 4 of the last 5 games for the Eagles have been against playoff caliber teams. So I got to give the slight edge to Sirianni for the coach. Offense, it's another close one to me, but I'm going with the 49ers. I think the Eagles definitely have a better quarterback, but I'm not sure how healthy he is. He's still kind of banged up a little bit. Goddard is. I'm not sure if he's going to play this week or not. If he was going to play and I was 100% sure he was going to play and be healthy, I would probably lean Eagles. But I think that's just one weapon that they don't have compared to the 49ers who have their tight end. They have their wide receivers back healthy, or Debo's back healthy. Jordan Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey's there. He's healthy. I think that offensive lines are really good, but I think the Eagles' offensive line is better than the 49ers, even though the 49ers have the better left tackle, one of the best left tackles in all of football, if not the best. I think the way that Brock Purdy's playing, he had a perfect passer rating a few games ago. He's putting up crazy numbers. I think he wants some. I think this is a payback game for him because he didn't really was able to finish the game last year in Philly in the NFC Championship game. So I think this is a statement. It's going to be a statement game for him. Defense, I'm going with the 49ers. the Eagles defense has just been. I mean, I don't know. They gave up 31 to the Commanders twice, and Sam Howell looked like, I don't know, Peyton Manning in both of those games.
Man, it was crazy. Both of them.
So I mean, I get it. They have a new defensive coordinator, just like they have a new offensive coordinator. But I mean, it's just been like it's that, especially that secondary has just been really, really disappointing. And they went out and they got Byard from Tennessee, and it still hasn't gotten any better. Yeah. So I got to go with the 49ers there and their defense. This is going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it. It's like I was looking forward to the last 3 Eagles games. Cowboys.
Yeah, they're good games. Yes.
And they get the 49ers. So now they've won all 3 of those games. All three of those games. They
playing some good games, bro.
All 3 of those games could have gone either way.
Did they play the Chiefs close too?
Yeah, they beat them by 4 on a comeback because their receivers dropped the ball. Or Hartman, I think it was Hartman. Or MVS dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So I think the Eagles have gotten lucky these last 4 weeks, if you include the Commanders game. I mean, they were getting beat in that game too before they pulled away in the second half, but ended up winning by 7. But I just think that the Eagles have kind of gotten lucky. The 49ers, they just, I mean, every game that they've won has been by at least by a touchdown or more. They had the Rams by 10, and then the Rams kicked the last second field goal, so they would have won that game by 10. So if you really think about it, they all their wins have been double-digit wins, and they've scored at least 27 points or more. So I'm going to lean with the 49ers on this one. I think this will give them. This will be 9 wins, and there'll be a game back, and the Eagles still have the Cowboys and the Seahawks left before the last 3 games are going to be easy. So I think the Niners definitely need this win. They're still in a battle with Detroit for that second overall seed, and I think they come 1 game closer to getting this number 1 seed for them. I think they win this game. I think it's going to be another close game, high scoring, I think. I got the 49ers 31-28.
Yeah, it's gonna be a vicious game. So let me ask you this. So you got San Francisco on a 2 seed?
As of now, I think that because the Eagles finished off the season with the Giants twice and the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I was about to look at. I was going to look at the Giants, the Eagles joint. Eagles might mess around and rest somebody. They might rest somebody.
Unless, I mean, the 49ers still have the Ravens on here. They have the Seahawks.
The Eagles might lose to the Cowboys.
I mean, that's true too. So, I mean, it's possible that the 49ers could catch them.
But I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Because I think it definitely has to start with this game right here. They have to. This is a must win if they want that number 1 overall seed. So,
they play the Rams close too. That Rams 49ers game, January 7th. That's not no Rams. That might be Rams fighting for a playoff spot, and they got the Ravens.
Possibly. Yeah, the Ravens game is going to be tough. It's
Seahawks.
San Francisco.
Well, they be punishing the Seahawks, so I don't know. They be punishing the Seahawks.
I mean, after this game, the Eagles have the Cowboys, and the Seahawks game is a tough one on the road too. But if they can get at least
beat the Seahawks stuff,
if they can win at least one of those games, maybe lose to the Cowboys. I don't know, man.
I don't know if they lose to the Cowboys.
I don't know. I think they lose this week.
If they beat the 49ers, they can lose the Cowboys. But they're going to lose one of these next 2. They're going to either lose to the 49ers and beat the Cowboys or beat the 49ers and lose the Cowboys. They're not going to lose back-to-back. But they're going to lose one of these games.
I don't know. They might lose back-to-back. And when that game is the
10th.
Oh, that's Sunday night. Okay.
Oh, that's going to be nice. Sunday night, December 10th. That's going to be nice. And the Ravens 49ers on Christmas at 8:15 is going to be nice.
Yeah, that should finally.
That's going to be a good game.
Get a good football game.
Good game.
It looks good on paper. We'll see what happens in real life.
But yeah,
I'm tired of these games that look good on paper, and then all of a sudden the games in real life are just.
Looks good.
Unless it's the Eagles, that's the only team so far that's been putting up some really good games.
Good.
Eagles, good games.
I like watching. Let me see who. Okay, I like watching before Joe Burrow got hurt. The Bengals. Actually, I like watching the Bills games. They be in a lot of close games, yo.
Oh yeah,
I like the Bills. Yeah, I like the Eagles. I like when the Cowboys play somebody. If they're not playing, if they're playing, in the words of Brashard, a tomato can, I'm not watching the game. If the Cowboys are playing somebody with losing record, I'm not watching the game because they're gonna punish them. Who else do I like? I always like the Chiefs. I like watching the Dolphins. I think that might be it.
I mean, they ain't beat nobody. I should say they.
The Lions. I don't mind watching the Lions. And the 49ers. The Seahawks are right. Yeah. So all right, guys, we're out. We're gonna see y'all next week. Peace.